got to be me,
Yeah.
Dino Supremes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And what I did is I took a step. Here's what I read. What I read, what Paul said, pray for me that I may fearlessly proclaim the gospel of boldness. Instead of praying for God to take my fear away, I prayed God to give me boldness to walk through my fears.
I prayed, God, please, I don't want to be afraid, or God, I want to be.
You're going to be afraid, but you pray for boldness to walk through the fear.
I love this. I'm getting taught here.
So you're going to have fear. You always have fears. I've had fears still for 18 years. The difference is that I don't wait for the fear to go away anymore.
Wow.
I take the step that I have to take. And sometimes you do it shaking.
Right,
Sometimes you do it scared and afraid. Like there are things God's speaking to my heart about right now. Raising up a leadership training center in Africa. Not a preaching center.
Right.
Because we have great preachers, great singers. But I want to see farmers who can till the soil so they can feed their land.
Yes.
I want to bring in entrepreneurs and businessmen so people can learn how to be able to be self-sufficient and not just look for others.
Yes.
And that's what they want. So the key is God gives you these big visions and these big ideas, and you have no idea how to make it happen. But that's not your job. Your job is to begin to move towards it. And some of it is so simple. You're not going to get a lot of amens and this kind of stuff, but a lot of it is networking. A lot of it is doing, and networking to me is not just getting what I can from other people. Networking to me is what can I do for you?
Exactly.
Because if I do something for you, and even though this may sound self-serving, but think about it, when you marry someone, you're doing something for each other.
Absolutely.
Networking means that I do something for you, and I do something for you in a genuine way, based on what you need and not what I want or what I need. It endears me to you, and now I have all of your network too.
Absolutely. Give and take.
So I want to build this leadership.
So that means you're going to continue to network with me, right?
I want to build this leadership training center.
Right.
It's been in my heart for 5 years. And I was afraid. And I said, God, I don't have the money. I need millions of dollars.
Wow.
I don't know what to do. It's too much. And the reason I talk about networking is I never did it before.
Oh, really?
Because I'm shy off camera. Right?
I was going to say, I don't think so. This is not a shy guy.
But in January, the Lord spoke to my heart and said, begin to bless people. Bless them with words of encouragement. And ask people what they need. And I started doing that. And even though I've sung at hundreds of churches and all around the world, when I'd sing, I'd go home and that was it. And then I started calling people and say, hey, I was thinking about you. And I asked God to give me promptings. So he gave me a prompting of somebody. I call them, I email them, see how they're doing. So one guy had spoken to him 15 years. And he said to me, just last week, he came out to where I live. We went and had lunch. And I had no preconceived ideas. I just wanted to bless him.
Yeah.
We sat and had lunch. He said, what's going on with you? We talked for 3.5 hours. I told him my African project. And he put me in touch with someone who is got the finances, the connections, this, that. I see. Meanwhile, 5 years ago, I'm saying, God, I can't do this. Maybe I'll give this message to T.D. Jakes and and the Lord is what the Lord is saying is just to take steps of faith. And some of it may not seem like anything grandiose. It doesn't have to be. But my main thing at this point in my life is to see people empowered to eradicate to eradicate poverty, to see justice in the lives of people here in America. But I don't care if it's Darfur or Sudan or Ethiopia or China.
It's people.
We must think about people, because the greatest two things God said. God did not say the greatest thing to happen is to have church. The greatest thing to happen is to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love people as yourself. And if we do that, we will be attractive to people once again.
I believe that. I don't even know what to say. I've just been.
Well, let me say one thing. And I'm sorry, I have an on button, but I have an off button.
No, it's okay. We've got plenty of footage and plenty of
footage. One thing I think is really cool. Listen to this. This is really cool.
Tell me.
See, this to me, when I was growing up, they told me, you got to win souls, and I used to always feel terrible. It's like, oh man, how do I lead a person to Jesus? Right. And then you don't lead anybody to Jesus, right? And now I don't even use that word. God never told us to win souls. He told us to make disciples. You make disciples by building relationships.
Yeah, but I was taught you have to win souls too.
The Bible says to win souls is wise, but see, we use an American version of win souls, which is like baseball. There's a winner and there's a loser.
Yeah.
When the Bible says he that wins souls is wise, it says he that has relationships with other people and let their light shine so that God can be glorified. He's wise. Because it's God that draws the people in.
Well, that's not what we were taught in Sunday school.
Right, and it was wrong. And here's the thing about it. A lot of things, see, I'm 53 years old, so I'm old school generation. But here's the thing. There are a lot of people that preached and taught us. They were loud, they were strong, and they were wrong.
Wow.